Hello, everybody. I think I'm live. It was a little bit of a delay. I feel like there's a lot happening with technology right now. Have you guys noticed that? Uh, I've had a lot of glitchy stuff with tech. But anyway, I'm Christy Forsyth. This is your weekly energy reading where we talk about what's happening in the collective energy, the astrology that's impacting each and every one of us, and how we can use this energy to our benefit, how we can make the most of the week. So, we're going to be talking about the channeled messages that I connected with for the weekly energy, what I'm feeling in this energy, what you guys have been sharing with me that you're feeling in this energy. And then we're going to dive into the tarot reading where we build on these messages, we connect with some deeper messages, and create the full picture of what you need to know for the week. So if you are somebody who is sensitive to energy, so many of you who watch these videos are, if you're feeling the intensity, the buzzing that's in the air right now, this is the video for you. This is how we can use this to our benefit. I do want to say that these readings are for the collective. So that means they're not for any one individual. There's not an individual message, although certainly you can take things from these messages and apply them to your life and connect them with your life. So I always think that that's an important thing. The only way to get a really personalized reading is to do a one-on-one reading. And that's something that I do offer, or plenty other readers out there as well. Let's dive in. So, how are you guys feeling? What's been going on? Say hello. I always love to hear from you. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, please make sure you're subscribed so that you can get all the videos that I share here on the channel. Please like these videos. Please comment. It helps these to reach the people that they need to reach. Can you feel like the air is just like teeming with energy right now? Can you feel that? Have you felt like your body was buzzing today? I certainly have. It's almost like, remember I said that there's issues with technology? It's almost like the air is just electrified right now. And it feels a bit intense. It does feel like, I think here in the United States, today is election day when I'm filming this. So there's a lot of collective energy impacting each and every one of us because people are feeling so passionate on both sides of this thing. People have a lot of opinions, have a lot of emotions, understandably so, around all of these things. And so we're finding ourselves feeling that for ourselves, and we can be absorbing that from other people and places and the collective in general. And it all can feel kind of intense. Or I'm finding for some people too, they're kind of in this place where there's been such a collective buildup into this energy that they're actually feeling kind of tired today and ready to be on the other side of this. And so there's a lot that's happening. Let's see. So Hillary says that 2 days feeling so much better. Just show me the way. Yeah, just show me the way. Keep inviting that in. Ask to be shown the way. And Pat's saying, yes, a very intense day. Yes, absolutely. And a lot. And I want you guys to keep in mind, especially if you're sensitive to energy, which again, so many of you are who watch these videos. These are the empaths, the helpers, the healers in this world, the people who feel the tension when they walk into a room after an argument, right? Those of you that feel energy, we all process energy, but we all feel it at different levels of intensity. And some of us are going to just feel that so much. I really feel like there's this energy of just like we're being squeezed. There's a lot of pressure here in this energy. And that can feel like a lot. And I want you to keep that in mind because sometimes we can assume, okay, I have something physically going on with my body, or we can get really overwhelmed by the energy. And sometimes it's helpful just to take that step back and go, is this just energy? Am I processing a lot of energy? Because sometimes asking yourself that question alone can be really, really helpful in clearing and releasing and helping you to understand how your energy field interacts with the world around you, which is exactly why I make these videos, so that you have an understanding of what the heck's going on and what you're feeling and how it's impacting you, how it's influencing you. I feel like there's so much happening, right? Like a lot of people have shared with me that they're having intense dreams, and that like I personally feel like there's a little bit of like a mystery in the air, I guess, is for lack of a better way to explain it, just feels kind of mysterious. And I think that we have to keep in mind we are feeling more emotional right now. There is kind of that mysterious energy. We are going to be connecting more in our dream state because we're in Scorpio season now, and that's a water sign, and that's very connected with all of these things. So know that you might feel more emotional, and that's okay, right? This is about like bringing our stuff to the surface. This is about death and rebirth. This is helping us to understand what needs to come to a close, what we need to be leaning into. And so there's a lot of triggers that are coming up. And also we've been in Saturn retrograde for, I believe, since May. And so that Saturn is all about lessons, life lessons, right? Teaching us lessons, showing us the way. And so we've had it in retrograde, and I really feel like we've been learning a lot of lessons through the Saturn retrograde, but it's getting ready to go direct next week. And so I feel like Saturn's kind of going out with a bang, and it's saying, I'm going to bring your stuff to the surface, your triggers to the surface. I'm going to help you to see things, help you to understand things in terms of where you need to close out cycles, where you need to let things go, what it is that you need to be learning. So Saturn is going out with a bang this week. So I find that a lot of people have stuff coming up that maybe they didn't even realize that they needed to deal with, but here it is. And we have this opportunity to take a look at it and to navigate it and to deal with it. And it's an opportunity, right? It's a choice. And so you're invited to lean into that and to let it show you and to let it teach you. I think right here in this energy, we have a real chance to learn something, whether it's a life lesson, whether we're learning something from somebody else, whether we're traditionally learning something. If you let yourself be schooled in this energy, you will learn something important for your life this week. So pay attention. And I think it's a chance for us to learn about each other. Again, there's so much conflict, there's so much intensity in the air, there's so much buzzing in the air. And I think that it's important for us to keep in mind that everybody is feeling this. So this is not a time for us to match energy. This is a time for us to rise above. This is a time for us to really work on connecting with that divine love and to send that out to everyone, no matter who they voted for, no matter what their opinions are. We can send that out. That doesn't mean that they get access to us or that everybody gets to be in our lives, but it does mean that if they're going low, that we should be going low with them, right? We can do that, right? But I feel like a lot of us are learning that lesson right now where it's like, can we take the high road? I'm telling you right now, take the high road. The view is a hell of a lot better up there, even if you desperately want to sink down into that. And even better if we can try to hold love for people and try to put that energy of divine love out there. That doesn't mean you have to love them from your person. That's about divine love. That's about universal love. That's about God's love, if that makes sense. Okay. So we want to be working on that. And I think that right now is a really beautiful opportunity to do that because we're meant to be coming together. This isn't about a divide. And I think there's a lot of energies that would prefer for us to be divided, to become more divided, and don't fall for it. It's all is good. And at the root, I think that most people are inherently good. And most people have inherently good intentions. Now, there certainly are people that challenge that. Absolutely. But again, that doesn't mean that they get to have access to you. But we can be mindful to not let our energy get tanked down into this low level, low frequency stuff. Every time that I get concerned about this stuff and I just say, hey, universe, hey, angels, hey, God, is this going to be okay? I always get the message back. All is well, but we need to keep coming back to our light, right? That is the priority right now. It's not our vote. It's not where this is all going. It's focusing on whatever we need to do to keep coming back to our light so that we can shine as brightly as possible so that we can light the world up together. That is your purpose. That is the plan. That is what we are here for. And I promise you, to get into a squabble in somebody's comment section on Facebook or Instagram is not your purpose. So just keep that in mind. Can we be more kind? Or I'm even just, it's amazing to me how quickly we can pull out the pitchforks and go after people. And I think that we all need to work on that as a collective. And I think that Saturn is here to say, work on it, do better, aim higher, be the bigger person, be the better person. So I definitely feel a lot of that here in this energy. There's also, I put for the title, like this is a time of fated connections, because I feel like destiny is moving a lot of things around to bring in fated connections into our life. So this can be people that we're connecting with where, their soul family, their soul tribe, there's connections that we're needing to make with people that are key and are important for our lives. And there's your sound response. My son is texting me. And so there's all of that. It could be romantic connections, but it doesn't have to be, right? This feels to me much more like soul family or people that we're destined to know. So pay attention to who is connecting with you this week and what things are coming in to your life. I think also in terms of fated connections, like it could be opportunities. It could be, really what I'm talking about is an energy of being in the right place at the right time. And I think that the people that we're connecting with right now are very key and very crucial, whether that's through work, through friendships, through romantic relationships, whatever this is so key. Hillary's saying, this is where I've been standing strong the last 2 days. It's been very easy and natural for me, even with situations that are not the best, to feel light and free, to spread my light to everyone I come in contact with. Is there a reason that I was so heavy last week, but unbelievably light and free and full of love the last 2 days? Well, I think you probably felt some shifts in the energy, right? Maybe some things lightened up. But also I think to be honest with you, Hillary, what it feels like to me is that you chose it, right? It was I feel like something just clicked for you and you chose it. And that's the thing is the subtlest shift in our thoughts, our behaviors, our approach to something can really create a momentum of light that carries us very quickly out of a heavy, hard, dark place. But again, also keep in mind, we're all very sensitive to energy and it is yanking us around right now. It is pulling us all over. And so you might be I do feel like there's an excitement in the air as well, even though there's an intensity. And so you might be feeling that excitement as well. So the other thing that came through is I heard, I haven't forgotten you. Okay. So for some of you have been questioning a cross loved one, a loved one who has passed on, and have been feeling forgotten or disconnected from that. So know that that is not the case. In fact, I think here in this energy, we can really feel our cross loved ones, and that the veil continues to be somewhat thinner right now, where we can be feeling a deeper connection with them. So that's a message for somebody, but also just a message about that you are not forgotten, right? Maybe we've been praying and feeling oh my gosh, is God forgetting me? Is God hearing my prayers? Has God forgotten something that I felt was promised to me? Or maybe this is about you not being forgotten, because somebody is thinking of you, remembering you. Maybe you've been thinking oh, I don't know if this person cares about me. And this is saying, absolutely, right? If there's been indications of that, absolutely. And maybe you're energetically feeling it, but you don't know what that is. So I feel like that, but I also feel this is indicative of these unbroken connections that we have with people, whether they're here on earth, whether they're crossed over, whether this is that unbroken connection with God. And so this is a message about knowing that that connection remains. That connection is always there. And what I would do is look for the signs, look for the indications that you're not forgotten. And maybe this is a sign for you. Maybe this is something that you needed to hear, to know that we're always supported, to know that things are always working out for us, as long as we're putting good out to the world, as long as we're putting love out to the world. And God hears your prayers, right? So you haven't been forgotten. Anything else you guys have been feeling? I always love to hear from you guys when you're on here. It's been a busy day on my end. We'll pull some cards now. I think that we have, like we feel this build up right now. I was saying in my monthly reading that's in my Clarity by Christy membership, that it feels like there's a buildup and there's something brewing for sure. And I think we can all collectively feel that, right? So we're going to move in and out of that energy, and that's going to feel intense as well. All of this feels like the labor pains for New Earth, and part of the process of what we need to be going through so that we can get to that place where we are more connected with divine love, where we are more connected with our intuitive gifts and the things that we're meant to be doing here on this planet, without being so disconnected from one another, so disconnected from source. Like all of this is leading us there. And it's an important process. And so these are the labor pains for a new earth. And so that's painful sometimes. That's intense. It's a lot. So I want you to keep that in mind as things are proceeding with the energy this week, and as things move forward, like everything's going to be okay. We're always protected. We're always being cared for. And God's got it under control. I think that there's going to be a lot of confusion and challenges coming in. And this is all part of the process. All part of the process. Shelly says, loves me in that color. Yeah, thank you. Pink's my favorite. I love pink. Curtis says, stress all over. Yeah. Megan says, yes, thank you for the reminders. Yeah, good. I'm glad that you guys are connecting with this. I love to see you interacting with these videos. This is awesome. Thank you so much for being here today. Oh yeah, there are gifts. Like what I want you to keep in mind, like there are gifts, there are blessings in all of it, even if it doesn't go the way that you think maybe it should, it would, or making important decisions. As I pulled the Judgment card, we're making important decisions about what path we're going to go on, what timelines we're going to be on. So what the heck does that mean? It means that we're making decisions about what our future looks like, the energy that our future looks like. But ultimately, this is being led, this is being guided, and we are being supported through it. So we kind of have to trust the process, right? Just like in labor, it gets a little messy, right? I think it's about to get a little messy, but this is all part of the process, and we're always supported with this. Okay, so first card up is the 9 of Swords in reverse. I don't know. I just feel like this is like, don't worry. Don't worry. Let it go. Release it. Don't hold on to it. And we want to keep in mind too, like a lot of these things that we're experiencing on the 3D here in this current reality are, if we can just take that step back and recognize like all of this is an illusion anyway. And I get it. Like it feels very real. It very much can be impacting us, but can we take a step back and just say, you know what, let's just let the process happen. Let's just let the process unfold. I've done my part. I've done what I can do. And now let's see where this goes. So letting that go, like there's not value. Yeah. Like literally I heard, like, it's so funny. I don't know if I said that, Megan, out loud, but she said, don't worry, be happy. That's truly, like, I heard that song in my head when I was pulling this card. So, yeah, the best we can, if we can let it go and not get so emotionally invested in all of this stuff, because we don't need to. Like, this isn't part of where we're going. And God's got it under control. So the next card that we have is the Page of Wands. And meanwhile, what are you ignoring that you need to be doing, working on, focusing, instead of getting distracted? I'm sorry, my son is sending me his Christmas list, and I don't know how to, I have it on Do Not Disturb, but he's still texting me. I don't know. So what do we need to be doing? What do we need to be focusing on? What do we need to be working on? What do we need to be getting started with, that we're distracting ourselves with all of this worry over stuff that is never going to come to fruition? It's okay. All is well. Focus on what you need to do. Focus on what is within your control. I feel like there's something like we feel like we need to be working on, and we've been setting that to the side. I got that message yesterday. I'm working on these hypnosis recordings that are going to be magical, and they're going to be released next week, and they're incredible. But I had to like finish up the last of them so that I can get them ready, package them up, to be sharing them with all of you so that you guys can purchase them next week. So I got that prompt yesterday, like, no, like, you got to get this done. The time is now. So there's some things right now where it's like, the time is now, or what do we need to be focusing on, rather than distracting ourselves with unnecessary drama. And here we have the Seven of Wands in reverse, right? That's like, try not to get caught up in like what this person wants, what this person thinks, what's happening over here. Just stay in your own lane and focus on what is within your control. Don't try to like press your beliefs on anybody. Don't worry about letting other people impress their beliefs on you, right? Just stay in your own lane. Work on yourself, work on what it is that you need to be working on. This is so key and important this week, because there are so many gifts and blessings that are wanting to come in. But if we aren't willing to put the work in on ourselves, or the things that we need to be working on, or redirecting our thoughts, redirecting our focus, redirecting our energy, then we're going to miss out on the blessings that are wanting to come in. And to me, this is that confirmation. Like, there are so many blessings in this energy, in this scenario. And remember, it's a time of faded connections. Like, the money that's wanting to come into your experience, the people that are wanting to come into your experience, the opportunities that are wanting to come into your experience are coming in. But we have to let ourselves be moved where we need to be in order for that to happen. We want to be in the right place at the right time. But if we're so in our head, if we're so caught up in this and that, and what's happening in regard to people who don't even know you, we're going to miss it. Stay in your own lane, focus on what you have, and focus on the blessings that are already showing up for us, because I do feel like we have a lot that's showing up for us. And I think we recognize it in the moment, and then we forget to hold gratitude for that for the long term. And that's going to manifest even better things for us. Again, we have the Judgment card, where we are making an important decision here collectively, but also in our own lives. Like, what gets to belong? We've been talking about this new chapter, or in some cases, like, people have a whole new book in their lives, right, that they're writing. And so what is this new chapter? What does this new book look like? And we've been trying to decide that, but we're still working on clearing away the leftovers from the past. And so I think that some things may come up. This is where we are being tested. I think that we have a lot of tests that are coming up. And so what we want to do is we want to respond better, differently. We certainly right now do not want to be repeating patterns that we have already worked really hard to release ourselves from. So catch yourself if you can. If you recognize, oh, I'm about to do that again, and I've done that many times before, I don't want to repeat that. Catch yourself if you can, because this is how we can support this new chapter in a more successful way. Absolutely. And the last card that we have is the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups is about raising the bar. It's about seeking better for ourselves. It's about rising above, right? Like I said, like this is not the time to match energy. This is the time to rise above. This is the time to take the high road. This is the time to be as kind and as loving as possible, even if we have to do that from afar. But that includes yourself. That includes seeking better for yourself. So where do you feel like you're settling? Where do you feel like you're allowing your frequency, your energy to be brought down to a lower level? Where do you feel like a situation is no longer showing up in the same way that it once did? And where do you need to walk away? Where do you need to seek something better, right? The Eight of Cups is, he's on a journey for that ninth cup, for that wish fulfillment, for that true fulfillment. And he's close, but he's not quite there. And he looks at that and he recognizes that he's not quite there. And he chooses better for himself, even if he knows that what he has is okay. But there's always that leap of faith, right? Because he has to turn his back on something that doesn't work anymore, that doesn't serve him anymore. It can be the way that you've always done things, right? I feel like a lot of us right now are taking a look at, this is how I've always done things, but maybe this isn't how I want to do things moving forward. So be willing to be flexible, be willing to be open, be willing to let destiny step in and bring the gifts that are wanting to come in, and hold so much gratitude for all of it, because this is a really beautiful and amazing time to be alive, even if it can feel not quite that way sometimes. But what a blessing that we get to watch all of this unfold, and we get to see what this is going to look like on the other side of it. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I love you all. I will see you soon with another video, and take care.